And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour. My name is Tiebreaker, and joined for this Women's Open Final is Jeff Peters. Jeff, Women's Open, Munoz, Lawrence, really could be a pro match.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. These women actually just finished doing a junior clinic for the LPRT with our junior players together. And they're obviously good friends. And this is going to be a tight match, I think, this morning.
Yeah, once the competition starts, though.
There's already been several dives early here in the first game. We're joining this in progress at Munoz 3, Lawrence 6.
Both of these players very, very athletic, cover a lot of court. You'll see a lot of retrieval between these two. 3 serving 5 is the scoreline. Munoz serving from Chile. There's 2 bounces from Lawrence in the back right corner, back left corner, excuse me.
Yeah, both these players expected to compete next week in the Worlds. I was talking to Kalani about how excited she was to be doing that yesterday afternoon. She is really looking forward to going. Her Team USA uniforms arrived, and she was just over the moon.
It's a good serve. Lawrence got low, hit that to the front wall, side out.
Referee for this match is Andy Peacock, the pro racket stringer and coach and lesson guy from here in Glass Court. He's probably played more on this court than anybody.
Timeout on the court taken by Munoz. Lawrence leading at 7-4, supported by her mom, Kalani Bailey.
Malia Bailey,
Oh,
Hall
sorry.
of Famer. It's okay. I'll take a moment while we're in a timeout to just mention the presenting sponsor of this tournament, Platte Hill Nursery. I want to mention KWM Gutterman and Keith Miner. Anthony's Pizza has been providing food all weekend. Danny Ortega and Taco Burrito King provided us with dinner on Friday night. We have Kit Lawson and Cheryl Kirk, Alok Mehta, John O'Donnell Jr., John Thorson, Mike Davern, Willie Fellows, all patrons of our sport, all people who have donated to this. The Clemitis Foundation, Leo and Sue Clemitis, who have been instrumental in racquetball all across the country in terms of the glass court that we play in at the U.S. Open, for example. Jack Newman, former pro player. We've had a lot of people be sponsors for this event. And it's morning, so we have to talk about Papa Nicholas Coffee. We've already gone
Right.
through about 90 pods this morning. Amazing how much coffee these folks drink all day long. But we're back. The action's live. Tough serve. Tough serve. Ref made a good call, despite what Carla says.
Munoz doesn't like it.
It was a great crack sidewall serve.
That one definitely good.
2 aces in a row.
9-4.
Kalani slowly pulling away here.
It's neat to see these juniors that were in the clinic now watching down below us. The 2 people who were on court with them in instruction. It's pretty neat to see the juniors watching on this final. Munoz just a little flat and kind of getting involved with the official. She's got to refocus and just think about what she's doing on the court. Long rally, won again by Lawrence, in control of this first game. 10 serving 4. Munoz really tested to get to this final. 2 tiebreaker wins, first against Flores from Mexico and then against Sotomayor from Ecuador. And Lawrence playing very well this morning. 11-4. Timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout ourselves. We'll be back. It's 11-4 Lawrence. Welcome back, everybody. Tim Baghurst, Jeff Peters, Lawrence serving over against Munoz. It's 11-4 game 1. Another point. Munoz just looks a little flat.
Yeah.
Head down, walking back. Just hasn't found her rhythm yet.
Little surprised. She has a lot of experience on this court. She's played quite a number of matches here in Chicago.
That's a side out. I don't think it's the court, Jeff. It's more just she was here late last night having to get to this final. The semifinals were later in the evening, and Lawrence was able to move hers up from the original time because it was a court open. Munoz had that tough battle against Sotomayor. It's a good shot.
Interesting you mentioned that. I noticed that match we moved to 5:30. The first semifinal, we actually moved that second match from its scheduled 10:30 to 8:30. And they were just...
but it was a long match, and then you've got that mental and physical recovery that you have to do. The little things take a toll.
They're here for the clinic this morning at 9 o'clock.
Right.
A nice commitment from both of them to the future of racquetball and the junior players who are sitting here on the back wall watching.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to them, and of course, you and everybody who's helped to put on this event. It means a lot to us and the players.
we asked each of the junior players to name their favorite LPRT pro when we were doing the clinic this morning. And the winner was actually Kalani, interesting enough, although I did have 2 people ask me how to spell her name.
I might have given a third. So Munoz took the timeout, that second timeout, and it seems to be working. She's found some rhythm, hitting clean. This time it's Lawrence who takes the timeout.
I just wanted to mention that Carla got votes, Paola got votes, Samantha got votes, Maria, and I'm trying to think, Angelica. So we didn't have that many kids in the clinic, but you know, pretty spread out.
Yeah.
With the overall winner being Kalani. Now maybe that's because Kalani was doing the clinic.
Perhaps.
But so you get a little bit of bias there, but we're not worried about that. We just wanted to have fun with it. And what we did was we threw all of their answers in a hat, and we pulled out one of them to win a Ruben Gonzalez 03 racket.
Oh, cool.
And the winner was Montserrat Torres from here in the glass court. And so that was pretty exciting. And all of these kids won something. I see Asher sitting down there with his new steel water bottle.
Oh, he was desperate to win that water bottle.
And that water bottle was actually attached to a $20 bill as well. So
a bonus. He wanted that turkey on the water bottle. He told me he was pretty insistent about that.
Yeah, so that was exciting.
I'm getting glares.
Yeah.
He can hear us.
He doesn't like being mentioned
no.
on air.
That's a good safety hold up.
Long rally. Both players had several opportunities to end that rally. Having a little bit of trouble putting the ball down right now.
Should mention women's pro final coming up after this, as well as the men's IRT final. We'll show that as well. Maurice Miller, many will know from the Real Racquetball show, taking on a emerging player from Mexico, emerging for many people, not to me. I've seen him in World Juniors for several years. Rodrigo Rodriguez, left-handed player. Lots of shot making from both of those. It should be fun too. Of course, in our final of the pros, Herrera, excellent win yesterday against 2-seed Vargas, taking on world #1 Paula Longoria.
Interesting call.
Very interesting call. Very interesting call. I should mention as well, Jeff, this is the open division, which means it's an amateur division, which means that USAR rules are followed, not LPRT rules, which are IRF rules. So some of these calls may be a little different to what we normally talk about on air.
Yep.
Second serve.
It's a clean shot. Munoz took some pace off that backhand down the line.
I mentioned this open division, there's only 8 women. Unfortunately, we wanted to get a 16 draw. They're still playing for $500 first place here. But #1 seed Angelica Barrios forfeited when she made it to the semis.
That's just clean hitting from Munoz. Lawrence asking her mom, do I take a timeout? I think a timeout is good here. Munoz is starting to find her rhythm. We'll do the same with a timeout of her own. 11 serving 12. Skip ball, Lawrence deep in the back, went for everything. A little too low.
Munoz has climbed back into this. It's now 12-12. Best 3 of 5.
It's a clean pass.
Nice pass.
Saw the athleticism of both players in that rally. Against other players, maybe some of those balls are down. Not against these two. Shot, Lawrence. You can hear Munoz when she puts a little extra into her shot.
13-12.
Yeah, 3 3/8-inch plexiglass.
13-12. Yeah, one more.
She's asking if she had a timeout, and she took it.
Again, difference between the LPRT and USAR rules. 3 timeouts available for these two ladies, and Lawrence just 2 points away from this first game. I think this first game is going to be crucial.
Yep, I think that's probably going to. I don't expect a tiebreaker, so we'll see how this goes.
We've had a very competitive draw. Jeff, you've watched a lot of these matches. Anyone impressed you this weekend that maybe you wouldn't be, maybe it surprised you a little bit that otherwise wouldn't be somebody you would normally pick for success?
Well, I think Angelica Barrios and how she played all week was pretty impressive. And Maria Vargas has really upped her game. I think she just got tired a little bit in that last match against Alexandra. And, you know, she got outfitted a little bit, which is interesting because you don't really think of that as being a
not against
element.
Herrera either.
But I think she looked a little bit tired towards the end. And she had played. I mean, I was looking forward to seeing her against Paula because she has been playing so well all weekend in doubles as well. Just very, very impressive shot making. So that has really impressed me.
Here we go, game point 1 for Lawrence. First game goes to Lawrence. Excellent timeout taken by both of these players to get back in rallies, to get back in points, but ultimately it's the USA player overcoming the Chilean in this first game. So we'll take a timeout. We'll be back in just a minute for game number 2.
I'm Carla Munoz and I play with passion.
I play to be a role model for the kids.
I play for the adrenaline.
I play for the love of the game.
I feel like the racket belongs to my hand. It's just something natural, I think.
Not affecting her. She's doing such a great job.
Reaching the Dream Foundation helped me a lot to get to other places and other tournaments and get more experience.
Welcome back to the Women's Open Final. Kalani Lawrence serving the second game. She won the first against Carla Munoz of Chile. Playing an avoidable here. First point.
Easy, says Carla Munoz.
130.
First point for Lawrence in game 2.
Notice something a little different about Kalani. She bounces the ball quite a number of times before she serves. She uses that to settle herself into exactly the position she wants to be in for the serve as she decides where she's going to go with it. Sometimes 8 or 9 times. Watch her.
It's her routine. 3. That's how many times I bounce it. If the receiver interrupts me during that 3, I restart and do my 3 again. Another point for Lawrence.
She started to feel comfortable up there, but she did this in the first game as well. She ran out to an early lead.
Winning that first game really helps in terms of confidence and puts pressure on the one who lost it. Smooth backhand winner from Lawrence.
You can see her looking very comfortable. She can't get too comfortable here.
Nice shot. Another long rally. These
Great
two working
defensive.
hard. Yeah.
Great defensive play by Munoz. She had to reach and poke probably 4 or 5 of those shots to get them back. A timeout by Carla this time. You know, momentum is clearly in Kalani's favor. She's up 5-0 here in the first game. Excuse me, the second game, and looking pretty strong.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things when you take a timeout, and you know, there are some players who just don't like doing it. I don't like to take a timeout, and when I do take one, I'm forced to take the timeout. Whereas really, a timeout is a resource that you can use not only to regroup but also change the rhythm of your opponent.
We've seen that throughout the weekend. The timeouts have been extremely strategic. The difference between them and me is I take a timeout to rest because I'm exhausted. So I rarely take one strategically. I need to get my breath back. So totally different approach.
We also don't see them taking as much in doubles as singles, which is interesting. If you're just joining us, we recommend watching on YouTube. Look for Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour. We can stream out at 1080p, 60 frame rate, which is better than what Facebook allows. So do recommend you head on over to YouTube. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. Side out, good timeout from Munoz. Gets in the service box. She's got work to do.
0-5.
That was She won that point on the first offensive shot she hit during the entire rally. She was on defense up until that moment. Excellent serve and kind of a relaxed backhand ceiling ball. Didn't make it.
It was soft hands for Munoz, and I thought she was going to make it, but Kalani Lawrence, a multi-sport athlete, so athletic, played field hockey in college, and you can see that fitness, that footwork transitioning over.
If I recall, she was an All-American at some level in college in field hockey, made some all-conference teams, and you know, I also see that in the arm strength.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned her mother sitting there. I think of her more as her coach, given that she's a Hall of Fame player in her own right. Some great wins on the tour, as well as in international competition.
Does a lot of coaching too now, and has hosted the LPRT at her club for pro stops. We were there in 2019. 2019, by the way, was that tournament was when Vargas beat Longoria in a tiebreaker win. That was an exciting one. Longoria then went into the US Open and claimed her 10th title in a row. 2-6.
Replay. First serve. 1-6.
Correction on the score. It's 1-6.
That's a really flat serve. If she gets that in, it's going to be trouble for Lawrence.
Excellent retrieval from Lawrence. Munoz had earlier opportunities in that rally, didn't put them away. Finally did down the left side, 2-6.
And controlled the front court during the entire rally that time for the first time this really the last 10 minutes.
Ooh. Swing and a miss down this glass by Lawrence. It's very tricky with this green ball. Actually, that's a question I have for you, Jeff. Green ball.
No, it's a tour. It's the tour choice. I agree. It's not quite as easy to see as the purple.
No,
ball.
I was asking about as an amateur division using green balls this weekend.
Yep, the amateurs are all using green balls
Got
this
it.
weekend.
This is definitely a unique court, and players have said that it's unlike any other, and past experience on this court has really helped them.
It has its slightest green tint to it as we look at it from the outside. Seems to make a difference.
serve.
Lawrence is going to take a timeout this time.
You can see the difference in the rules with having that extra timeout available to them. They are definitely taking advantage of it. I actually like a blue ball in this court. I've played in this court a fair amount. Actually, it's got my name on it, so I guess it's my. I guess I can. Play
you played in here a little while, but we should also mention everyone that's. It's not just because you participate a lot on this court. Jeff's done a lot for racquetball, both USAR and Illinois, and of course on the Pro Tours as well. When we look at what's going on this court, we talk about experience. We talk about time on the court. From your perspective, watching the Pro Tours, men and women, what makes players the most successful? We see a lot of players who jump around the between 10 and 20 on tour. What is it that requires them to break into that top 10?
I think that we've seen a change in the entire fitness level on the Pro Tour both Pro Tours over the last 3 to 4 years. You can't just come out and play anymore. There's a couple of players on the LPRT who are really sinking in the rankings right now. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Again, we see consistently players coming out of timeouts and having the right strategy for the next point. And we've seen it all weekend long. It maybe have been every single time. It's pretty close.
My calculation's about 75% in matches that are competitive.
No. Side out.
And so I think biggest single change is the overall fitness and athleticism of the players. There's nobody in the top 10 on either tour now that isn't extraordinarily fit and looking to get fitter. And that didn't used to be the way it was. Nice shot.
And I think one of the things that some of these players struggle with is on the mental side of beating one of those top 10 players, getting that quarterfinal win, getting that semifinal win. It's there. They're close.
Yeah,
but it's we get to the tiebreaker, but then that top 10 player wins the tiebreaker. And it's requiring them to just really believe that, you know what, I deserve to be here. I should belong here. I should be beating these people. I can.
A number of the players are using a sports psychologist to support that now. And I think that's a little bit different. I don't know how many of them are. But
Not many.
But I know they're trying it because when you see these... Just want to see how that point was going to come out. But I think that's now 6-6. So... Here's a turning point in this game, certainly. See if Carla can take over after being down 6-2.
Wow, the lead from Munoz.
I think Erica Mania is an example of somebody who's trying to break through that psychological barrier. She was really, really close to, to beating Paula in the U.S. Open. She had leads in the both games, past 10. It really gave her all she could handle, and there were people talking about Erica breaking through against her in Arizona. When she had to play her again because she moved up so much in the seedings, and Paola just administered a licking. It was 0-1, I believe, and just said, I'm in charge. So, you know, that's a little blow to the psyche. But I think if anybody can weather it, it's somebody like Erica.
Excellent shot from Lawrence. I'll also add that the draw has never been deeper, at least since I've been involved the last 2 or 3 years, where all the way down through the 16s and now even into the 32s, there's no gimmies. There's no easy matches. All these players have to come and play their best.
Yeah, we didn't have really, I can think of one match this entire weekend that was a gimme.
Yeah, I actually like that.
I mean, that was a good
Munoz was moving Lawrence back. And that was a backswing avoidable hinder. And Munoz did well actually to let the ball come back to force Lawrence away.
7-7.
Munoz. Now, both players aren't too happy with the ref, and that means that the ref's probably being fair.
That was a good call. She caught that ball. She probably couldn't see it when she hit it. It hit the floor just before it hit her racket, and she hit it cleanly, so she thought she had it.
One of the questions was about the green ball, whether LPRT were planning to switch to the purple. The answer to that is not presently, but purple is also a pen ball. So who knows? You know, this is a player-driven tour. Oh, goodness.
Oh, left that up for Kalani to run for it. Go smiling.
Well, as the saying goes, Jeff, ball never lies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At least according to Munoz, who gets the side out. So if if it's something the players want to switch to, we may see the purple ball being, or another ball. Excellent shot. Munoz wanted a replay.
I think that's the only shot you had.
I agree. Munoz took a full swing, but she didn't hold up. It's called safety, she said, but she took a full swing, Jeff. Didn't look like she held up.
I don't see often players asking for safety hinders. You don't see that very much at this level of play.
Right out. 7-8.
Good call by the ref.
Second serve.
I said he's very, very experienced on this court. I think he does a really fair job. I mean fair as in he does a good job and he's fair to both players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing at stake here for the ref. 8 serving 8. Swing and a miss.
Well,
Timeout on the court taken by Munoz. Go ahead.
If the ref does a really lousy job, and won't let him ref, and I'll send him back to string rackets. So, and then I'll be making money. So that's what at stake. He's actually giving up income to be here. Well, he's a good guy.
We are enjoying this match. We hope you are too. We'll take a short break and be back. It's game number 2. And we're back in, everybody. A picture of the juniors this morning. Jeff, it was fun to see them on the court hitting balls, and some of them demonstrating some talent.
Yep, and you can see all the prizes. We had one of the ladies come up, and her first 2 hits, she picked up $40 and a shirt.
Bonus.
There were lots of prizes. Everybody got at least one.
I want a clinic for us, Jeff. I need some opportunities.
I don't know if I'd hit anything.
Exactly.
Side out.
Side out, Munoz. Excellent timeout.
Now, I always tell beginners when they're learning to play the game, stand on that front red line and hit the ball back to yourself 5 times. And they can never do it. It really says how big the court is.
A lot of players can't do it from back on the back wall either.
It's a lot harder there.
Side out.
One of the questions was, what would be the benefit of switching to the purple ball? I think just the only benefit really is that in mixed pro, both sets of players would be playing with a ball they're comfortable with. In Arizona, they played with the green ball. In Denver, I believe it was the purple ball.
10 serving 8.
Lawrence with an ace to the left side.
And I think we may see more combined events in the future. Maybe even some without amateurs and just broadcast and pros. And that makes it easier for them. Fooled by that one.
It's defense from Lawrence,
Good. Side out.
but too much offense from her opponent, Munoz.
8 serving 10.
8 serving 10 right now. Munoz has got to take a point here. This is an important juncture in this game.
Both these players will have to get used to a gearbox black ball for the World Championships. That will be a transition for those who've ever used it before.
Yeah, it feels a little bit smaller
It's
than the
just
green
that
ball.
a little bit squishier, a little bit slower.
I thought it was good.
I agree. I thought it was good serve.
9 serving 10.
Nice pass. It's that straight in, straight out pass where they're not catching the side
10
wall.
serving 10.
Carla's using that successfully now. 10 serves 10. New game.
Short.
That was awfully close.
I think the
Second
right
serve.
call. Second serve. Lawrence 5 points away from this match. Munoz skipped it.
That was not the point to skip.
No, but she had it, right? She
10-10.
got the serve, loose return, had the opportunity. She needs to remember that. And this time, Lawrence can't believe the setup she missed.
That was what
Lawrence-
they both got what they wanted the last 2 points. Just
Lawrence
didn't execute.
tends to stay pretty calm, controlled. Munoz a little bit more up and down in emotions.
I know both these ladies have been training hard and both are going to the Worlds. Big commitment from their families, too. These ladies are both married.
11 serving 10.
And there's really a family commitment for them to be able to play on tour and get down to the IRF tournaments as well.
Yeah, the IRF tournaments in particular are long, speaking from experience.
They
Munoz. But recovered. But recovered.
Missed the easy one and made the hard one. Yeah, those IRF tournaments, I think the world's is it 11 or 12 day.
Yeah, you're looking at least 10 days with travel. Players get there a couple of days early to practice, to prepare, to get on court, and then when we get there, you have round robin before the single elimination.
Right.
So it's a lengthy time. You're often only playing one match per day if you're just playing one division. So it's a different environment. And one of the players who has been arguably, well, two players most successful ever at World Championships, Paula Longoria, Rocky Carson. They figured it out how to perform when it matters most that one time each day. Longoria, though, often 2 times a day as she plays a lot of doubles.
Right. I mean, but I'm amazed at the team and the commitment, the fact that they can go away for these long periods of time. Of course, they're risking COVID right now, and everybody's concerned about negative COVID tests getting back into the United States, getting into Guatemala. And I think, you know, the team's almost operating in a bubble as they come out of this event, trying to make sure that they're all clean going down.
Yeah, it would be terrible not to be able to go and compete or return for that matter. Ooh, Lawrence with a crack. Timeout. Jeff, it worked.
Right back. Yeah, she needs to come through here or we're going to be in a tiebreaker. Oh, Munoz mad at herself. She took her eye off the ball for just that second, and with the glass glare and everything, it was fatal.
11 serving 12. Lawrence uses an unusual position on the court to serve.
Midway in the box.
Mm-hmm. Don't see it too often, but that's a clean shot.
12-12. 1.
12-12. Timeout by Munoz.
Carla taking her last timeout. She was asking the referee something that the pro players have gotten very good at. There's were a number of penalties a few years ago where people took timeouts that they didn't have and were penalized for it. I forget what the penalty is, quite frankly.
Well, USAR rules, not sure. LPRT rules, it's a technical -1. Yeah. And so same thing with appeals.
The referee before they
they've learned. Yeah. They've learned. And how did they learn? Some of the players got some technicals, and the word got out, hey, we can't do this. Look what happened. And as a consequence, the players have learned to do the right thing. And
yeah, some of the more emotional players back, I can remember, you know, they just get mad at the shot they hit and they go, timeout.
Right.
As an immediate reaction, and they just don't have one.
Right, right.
So it's pretty funny. It's not really funny to them. They got -1.
Well, I think the same could be said, you know, just in terms of professionalism, where if you're not starting the match on time, you know, there are rules for that. If you're arriving at the club late, and I'm talking about pro and amateur, you're arriving at the club late, there are rules. No warm-up, get on the court. You have this many, or you've used your timeouts, or you get the technical for delay of game.
Or the Worlds, you're out.
Yeah, that happened to me, unfortunately.
Hold it. Play it over.
Ooh, that could have been an avoidable.
Replay.
Wow, wow, wow.
She was right in front of her. Carla's surprised, but she wasn't looking behind her, so she doesn't know what was going on there.
No, I think Carla is very grateful, if looking back at this, that Kalani did not swing.
She was right
As the
there.
saying goes, that would have left a mark. You know, it's fun. These two did a clinic together, and here they are arguing on the court. This is what you want to see, competitiveness.
I think we mentioned this yesterday or the day before when Erica was playing. When she tries to go to the extra gear, she actually foot faults. And you'll see Kalani with the same thing. When she tries to push the serve a little bit harder, and that last serve was a foot fault by a good inch. A little tough for the ref to see from down here, but a clear foot fault from where we sit up a little bit higher.
Nope.
Nice serve.
13-12.
Tim, you're going to have to tell us about being forfeited at the Worlds.
Oh, gosh, do I have to?
That story can't be, it has to be finished.
All right,
You
we'll
can't
wait for a
start it.
break. We'll wait for a break. I don't want to share this one, but if you insist.
You brought it up.
I did.
All right. First game point coming up for Carla Munoz, and Kalani's going to call a timeout and see if it works.
Well, let's see if it does work. It's 14-12. All right, World Championships 2010, South Korea. Back then,
Tim was just a child, playing in the 14s.
Tim was way out of his depth competing at that level. But back then, the IRF didn't use electronic scoreboards. They didn't use electronic resources to create the draws. So it was all printed out. And to be frank, the times got changed, but I had the original draw, not the updated draw, the printout. And so I showed up for my match. Where were you? What do you mean? Well, your match was scheduled 2 hours ago. What are you talking about? Not happy. Tim wasn't happy, but we move on.
So it truly was a forfeit.
I thought it, yeah, they forfeited me. And of course, back then, you know, not everybody had the cell phones. Not everybody had the text message, hey, where are you? You know, so be it. My first experience, I learned my lesson the hard way. Check the draw. Make sure you're double check, triple check.
You can see the timeout work.
And I'd also add, Jeff, that's the value of also having a coach. Because had I had a coach, a team leader, just recognition of where are you? You need to be here. Don't forget your match is at. It's huge.
The USA has a team leader in Cheryl Kirk now that does not let that happen. Probably the most OCD, or as I was told this morning, CDO, which is OCD in the correct order, team leader that we've ever had. She does not let players be late.
And a shout out to her and Kit Lawson watching on over opposite us. Huge thank you for all their contributions to Illinois Racquetball this tournament. Cheryl's on the board of the LPRT and, of course, USAR.
And she's also the president of the Illinois Association. I serve as her vice president and do her every bidding.
14-13. Another game point for Munoz. Trying to take it to a tiebreaker.
Just trying to prove me wrong.
Second serve.
All right.
Wow. It has been a close game one, a close game two. We're going to a tiebreaker. Kehlani Lawrence is going to be serving first. This has turned into a very, very interesting open final.
Yeah, it's a very competitive match on all the shots. Like a lot of good gets, a lot of good defensive play. I know each player is looking for the shot that's going to allow them to drive the ball down the line and run off 3 or 4 points. That's what we really haven't seen at any point in this match. Oftentimes we think of Kehlani as a streaky player. We haven't seen a lot of streaks. We've seen 2 points at a time. If we were tracking that, which we wish we were.
We need Asher, our statistician. He did it last night.
He did it last night.
He'll do it for the final.
He'll do it for the pro final. And the pro finalists are just showing up to start getting loose and warmed up. Alexander Herrera just coming into the building and getting herself ready to go. That match is coming up right after this tiebreaker. And whoever scheduled this tournament and left an extra hour open between the two matches was really a very wise man.
I wonder who that could be. Well, that's
so that
a good
on
point.
Time.
Tournament directors often schedule 45 minutes, an hour for pro matches. Okay, we do see some short matches, but a lot of them go long because of the timeouts, because of the drama, and excellent rallies.
Yeah, and when we talked earlier about the fact that we only saw literally in the pro draw one kind of walkover sort of match, I know Tim and I are thinking of exactly the same match, and it's not important who it was, but that match probably lasted 25 minutes tops. Not even that long.
13.
13 minutes?
13.
13 minutes.
But,
I wasn't here for it.
But where
so the scores.
But more often than not, that never happens.
Very unusual. So Carla, during this break between the second and third games, is checking in with her coach on her cell phone. I'm not sure who her coach is. I'm
going to bet it's her husband, Alan Natera.
Yeah, so it could be Alan Natera, who a men's pro tour player, who she's been married to actually for a fairly short time, less than a year now.
Yeah.
Kalani, I can assure you, is not checking in with her husband, who is not a racquetball player at all. Great guy, but not a racquetball player. She has a Hall of Fame coach sitting here
down below us.
Came up for the weekend, literally right below our feet. So he's here, ready to go. Excuse me, she's here, ready to go. Back a couple of more tournament sponsors. Rob Drager, who's been here watching all weekend, and Drager Law is somebody who's been really good. And I do want to make sure that I mention the LPRT sponsors, because they help us out as well as the LPRT. So Penn Racquetball, Head Racquetball, and Gearbox, they all donated to our silent auction to benefit junior racquetball, where we raised about $450 in an silent auction that ended last night.
I won something, Jeff.
I just wish everybody would pick up all their stuff so that
I got mine.
Have it. You got yours, and there were some pretty good prices. I mean, we had some great coffee from Papa Nicholas, some coffee things. We had a big display from Little Debbie snack cakes. I think I calculated there were about 18,000 calories just in that display.
You calculated the calories.
Well, you start looking at those and you go, 400. Actually, 18,000 is probably light for that. It was amazing how many calories.
You calculated the calories. That's a Jeff Peters thing.
I do Weight Watcher points more than I do calories now, but just amazing how many calories are in some of those. I'm sure somebody bought that and they'll spread it out to their family for the holidays. Well, it'll be nice. Interesting
thing about this break between games 2 and 3 is that it's 5 minutes, not 2 minutes.
Right, because we're playing by USAR rules, so everybody gets a little bit extra time to relax. We still have a bunch of junior players sitting behind Kalani, who had been invited to back wall sponsor seating after their play in the clinic this morning.
My son Asher did find it amusing that he gets to sit in your seat, Jeff.
Yeah, it's got my name on it.
And he is wearing his tag today.
Yep, we were good to everybody. They all have tournament tags, which become luggage tags afterwards.
Yeah, so they're awesome. I love them.
It's kind of nice. You throw it on your luggage and away you go. And for somebody like me who has a flight at 3:40 this afternoon, my tag will be on my backpack or my suitcase.
All right, here we go. Some smiles at the beginning of this tiebreaker, but I think they're going to disappear pretty quickly. It's first to 11, win by 1. Significant money at stake for these players. Not to mention some ranking, which will help in other tournaments. Here we go. Lawrence serving 0-0.
The first one away. Might mention that Lawrence is part of the athlete development program in the U.S. team, where USA Racquetball has put in a great program where USA team members and top 16 players, U.S. I'll come back to that in a moment. Another point where USA Racquetball supports them with expense reimbursement. After events like this, they can play up to 5 Tier 1 LPRT Pro stops and be paid some expense money for it, and it's really an attempt. Nice get. Nice get by Lawrence, and Munoz was a little nonplussed by it and just didn't make the shot. So 3-0 here in the tiebreaker.
And this is a challenge, right? You win the second game and, okay, I'm back in this match. And it's easy to step off the gas. And it feels like that's happened here for Munoz. 3 quick points for Lawrence.
Just want to finish on that athlete development program so they can do it for up to 5 events in a year and get reimbursement money. And it's really kind of a nice thing for those players to get that that top level exposure that they weren't always getting. They weren't always able to come to every tournament because of full-time jobs and life getting in the way.
1-3.
So it's really nice that they're able to get some additional tournaments each year. So that athlete development program, I think, is USAR's first step at helping the USA to become more competitive on the world stage at these IRF events. Get our players the top competition all through the year.
Good.
They look good from here. Lawrence just checking with her coach and mom.
2-3.
Munoz back to 2 serving 3. Seems to have pulled herself together here.
Nope, no.
Skip from Lawrence, 3-3.
Tough, tough, tough flat serve.
Definite swing in momentum after that early start from Lawrence at 3-0. This time it's Munoz who misses an easy one in the middle of the court on the backhand side.
Yeah, you saw her walk away from that backhand. She walked to the right as she hit it.
Screamed afterwards too. She knows she should have done better.
Hold it. Play it over. Nope.
I think you give the benefit of the doubt to the receiver on that shot. They're athletes. Definitely a chance to get that ball back. It was close.
That was a good serve. Good serve.
I agree. Munoz doesn't like it. I thought it was good too. Just clearing that line.
We have a pretty good angle on that from up here. Kalani looked to her coach to make sure that that was good.
Snap of the wrist from Munoz, getting low, hitting hard.
Taking that setup off the back wall.
3-4.
Off the back glass. Lawrence couldn't get it up.
4-4.
4 serving 4. Excellent return from Lawrence. Serve was good. I think Munoz more hopeful than anything.
4-4.
Excellent cross court. You saw Lawrence setting up for it with her feet position.
Yep.
I mean, down the line on the right side looked more open, but Lawrence executed it very well. Excellent shot from Munoz, taking that ball early in the middle of the court.
Good racket control to be able to hit that edge.
Point for Munoz.
Both players from the pro final now in the building, starting to get loose and ready for that match coming up at noontime Central Time. Right after this tiebreaker, they'll be on the court to warm up.
we'll see a timeout from Lawrence.
It's a nice pass.
Nope, just some conversation in the back with some instructions. Munoz leading 6-5. First to 11, win by 1.
Munoz was down in this match, 0 serving 3. Has brought it back and is now looking to take control. She's serving at 6-5.
Okay, side out, authoritative shot from Lawrence.
Saw that ball pop up on Munoz. She was looking to kill it, and she had to play a defensive shot instead. Didn't work, and goodbye.
Again,
nice pass.
You don't see Lawrence pinch very much. She's a passer, and I think if you're playing against her, you have to recognize, stay back, cover the down the lines, cover the cross courts, worry less about the pinches.
Yeah, she has a lot of pass shots. I'm kind of surprised that she isn't going down the line a little bit more than that.
Well, timeout on the court. We'll take a quick one ourselves at 6-6. We're back in, everybody.
Second serve. Good.
I say, of course, Jeff.
Oh.
Don't see many pinches from Lawrence, and what does she do?
Comes back out and pinches the ball. Of course, she heard you.
Malia must have been listening.
We're right above her coach, but I don't think she can actually hear us. Unless she's listening to the broadcast on earphones.
All the way in the corner. Point.
Oh, I think she was asking for a screen. Again, it was all the way in the corner. I agree.
Yeah.
It was not a screen.
Carla's a very hopeful player in terms of some of the shots she's looking to get calls on. Oh, I wonder if this messed with her mind a little bit.
9-6.
Lawrence all of a sudden 9-6.
Timeout available. Or is there one timeout?
She took it, and she took it.
Yeah.
She took it.
Munoz just a little frustrated.
You were prescient there. You knew that was coming. Right before.
I watch a lot of racquetball, Jeff. You might have coached one or two as well.
However, this is a USAR match. Your brain is in LPRT mode. That wasn't available to her. It was an LPRT match, so you're right on top of that.
LPRT get 2 timeouts per game, including tiebreaker.
And actually, there's 2 available in the tiebreaker in the USAR
Right.
rules. Right, 3 in the first 2 games. Now only 2. So I could see one of our sponsors, Keith Miner, warming up for his match across from us. I imagine he's in the finals of the doubles. I think he's playing.
Well, he played very tough against Rodriguez in the semifinals of the Pro Division, IRT Pro. Lost 11-8 in the tiebreaker against, what, a 21-year-old Rodrigo Rodriguez from Mexico who plays on tour.
And Keith's eligible to play in the 55s.
It's incredible. He's
not allowed to say his age out loud, but
he's a very talented player. He and Jeff Stark win pretty much every year at the U.S. Open.
They've dominated the Masters divisions, as we call them.
We'll play replay. No. Replay.
2 bounces and an avoidable. I thought it was 2 bounces. I don't think it was an avoidable. But that's my opinion. And my opinion means nothing in this match.
Let's see what the emotion does for Carla here. She needs to get the serve back. First match point for Kalani.
Lawrence. And she does. She claims it. 11-6 in the tiebreaker. Tough match in this open final. It's Lawrence who claims it. 15-12, 13-15, 11-6. Well, Jeff, that was a great start for today. Coming up, of course, we got the pro finals of the LPRT and then the men's open or men's pro final as well.
Right. Should
be a great afternoon of entertainment.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Tier 1 LPRT final, full Tier 1, and then we're gonna have a Tier 4 men's final. A lot of the pro players filing in to kind of watch their partners and others. I see Samantha Salas in the house. I saw Maria Vargas a little bit earlier. They're all here to kind of watch this final and see what Alexandra Herrera can do with Paola. Alexandra playing extremely well. You know, knocked off Vargas last night.
Great match.
Great match, and you know, I didn't see that coming, quite frankly. But you know, let's see if Alexandra can give Paola a match here, especially in the first game. If she comes out strong, you know, she could potentially sneak the first game, and then we'll have.
Then it gets interesting.
Then we'll have a match after that.
Well, Herrera is a shooter. Longoria, of course, the most consistent player on tour. We'll see how that goes. We're going to take a break, allow players to warm up. They're just walking down below us to get on court. We'll be back. It's 12 p.m. Central Time is when we start. We hope you join us for it.
We should be pretty close to that.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this open final. We'll be back in just a few minutes.